Hello. In this brief video, we will go over the process of adding question content to your eClass quiz or question bank. If you've already watched our previous video on creating an eClass quiz, you will know that it's possible to add a new question directly into the questions page of your eClass quiz. Separately, you're also able to preload your questions into the course question bank before even creating a quiz. This will be the preferred method if you wish to populate your course with question content before creating quizzes, or if you want to preload question content from a textbook publisher before creating quizzes in your course. To access the question bank for your course, you have two methods. First, you can click the Question Bank tab in your eClass quiz while you're creating it. Separately, if you click on the More tab in your eClass course, you will see the option for Question Bank at the top of the list. Your question bank in your eClass course is a library of all the question content you've ever created for the course. In your list of questions, you'll be able to edit your questions, say that they're ready to be used in a quiz or held in a draft form, maintain multiple versions of your quiz questions, and review pertinent data about how it's been used in your eClass course, including its effectiveness and how often it's been used. Prior to creating new questions in your question bank, you can create some organization by adding categories to your question bank. A question bank category is like a file folder for the individual questions in your question bank. These can be organized in whichever way you see fit, whether it's questions categorized by topic matter, or by chapters in a textbook, or by an assessment you're planning for. However you wish to organize your questions, you can do that by creating categories. If you wish to use the Add Random Question ability in your eClass quizzes, you will need to create a category as a pool of questions to be drawn from. To create a new category in your eClass question bank, click Add Category. When creating a new category, all you have to do is select the parent category where it will be nested, and give it a name. After naming your category, you can then go to the bottom and click Add Category. With categories created, you will see them added to your list on the Questions page in the question bank. Choosing a category and selecting Apply Filters will display the questions within that category. In order to add a new question, click the button that says Create a New Question. This will be a similar process, regardless of whether you're adding the question into your question bank or whether you're building the new question directly in your eClass quiz. You will be given many different types of questions to choose from, but for the purpose of this video, we will go over some of the basic question types in eClass. First, let's scroll down and walk through adding a true-false question. For any question that you create in your eClass quiz or question bank, you must begin by giving it a question name and a question text. The question text is the actual prompt or question that the students will be answering. The question name is the identifier or the file name that you will see in the question bank. You can enter a shorthand question name, or some instructors prefer to put the question prompt both as the question name and the question text. After inserting your question prompt, then you can move on to select your answer options. In the case of a true-false question, all you have to do is select whether the correct answer is true or false. Once you've entered your prompt and your answer, you can go down to the bottom and click Save Changes. Now let's discuss adding a multiple-choice question to your eClass quiz or question bank. When creating a multiple-choice question, after you've entered the question text and the question name, you will then have to choose whether multiple answers will be allowed for the question, or if one answer only will be the correct answer for your question. Let's begin by choosing a one answer only multiple choice question. After making the selection, scroll down and enter your answer options. For every answer option you insert, you will need to choose the appropriate grade value for that answer. If it is the correct answer, you will need to choose 100% for the grade. For any incorrect answers that you give, you can keep the grade as none, so that the students won't receive any points for selecting that option. However, if the grade is partially correct and you wish to acknowledge that, you can give partial credit on a particular answer. Once all of your answer options have been entered, and at least one of them is named the correct answer, you can then scroll to the bottom and click Save Changes. In the event that you write a question for which multiple answers are allowed, you will need to select different options for the grade in your answer choices. In this example, I will have 2 answer choices that will be correct. The students will need to choose both answer choices to get full credit. Assuming that both answer choices will be equally weighted, I will choose 50% as the grade for both answer choices. For all the correct answers that you enter, you have to make sure that all the grades add up to 100% exactly. If that total is off, eClass will not save the question. For any incorrect answers that you enter, it's recommended that you give a negative grade for those answer options. This will prevent students from simply choosing all answer options and getting an automatic 100% grade. Once all of your answer choices have been entered, scroll down to the bottom and click Save Changes. Next, let's discuss how to create a short answer question. A short answer question in an eClass quiz allows a student to type in a response, and then it will automatically grade that response against sample answers that you've given in advance. For that reason, a short answer question is best used for questions where a specific term or response is anticipated by the instructor. If a student gives any other answer, it will be automatically counted as incorrect. In short answer questions, you can also create a fill-in-the-blank style question by typing in a few underscores in the question text. This will create a text box directly within the question prompt when students are answering the question. When entering the correct answers for your short answer question, enter the answer as you would like it to appear and give it the grade of 100%. If there are multiple anticipated correct answers, you can enter each one individually and give each one the 100% grade. If you would like to enter a feedback response for any and all incorrect answers, you can enter an asterisk into one of the answer options. This will create a wildcard response so that any incorrect answers will get a standard feedback response from the instructor. After entering all of your correct answers, partially correct answers, and your wildcard response if need be, then scroll down to the bottom of the page and click Save Changes. Lastly, let's go over the essay type question. An essay question in eClass is a truly open-ended question. Unlike the other question types, which may automatically grade a student response, an essay question will need to be manually graded by the instructor after the quiz is completed. After adding your question prompt, then you can choose how students will respond to the prompt. If you are requiring students to write a response to the essay question, you can choose how large the text box will be, and if there will be a maximum or minimum word limit. Separately, you also have the option to allow attachments as a response to the essay question. Depending on your preferences, you can choose whether a text response or an attachment will be required, optional, or not given as an option to respond to the essay question. After choosing your options as needed, then you can scroll down to the bottom and click Save Changes. After your questions have been added to the question bank, you can then go back to the question bank page to either edit the question, duplicate it, or preview it to see how it will be displayed in an eClass quiz.